Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, The Novel Nana. I'm Bex. So today's video is going to be all about getting lucky with your edits. So today I'm going to share with you guys some tips and tricks that I have come up with and learned over the years that may help you when you are first editing your book and getting it all polished up. My goodness, I can't even talk today. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get right into the video. I have a whiteboard with me today, and I'm going to show you some examples of exactly what I'm talking about and how you can use this L.U.C.K.Y, L-U-C-K-Y acronym to help you when editing and knowing what to look for. Okay, guys, let me real quick take this thing off my head, throw my hair up in a ponytail or a bun, and we'll get started. All right, be right back. Okay, so now that we're back, I'm going to show you a little simple trick that will help you to remember what things to look for while you're editing. Now, this is doing your self-edits, kind of polishing it up a little bit before you send it out to, say, beta readers. You want to make sure that you are kind of getting the little things out of the way first. And this can also really help when you're in that revisions process, because you can automatically cut certain words and kind of get that word count down to where you need it. Okay, so we're going to get started. Let me go ahead and erase this. And I'm going to share with you some tips. Now, these are all, here we go. Okay, hopefully you guys can see this. If not, I will go through it as soon as I'm done. But I just have written down L-U-C-K-Y. Now, this is going to be your acronym to try to remember, and I will show you which words go with it, kind of to walk you through it. But these are words that you should consider cutting, okay? So first off, the L. So we're going to use the L as a way for you to remember any words that end in the L-Y, okay? So these are going to be your words, your L-Y words, mostly. Now, not all L-Y words need to be cut, especially depending on the context and the important part of your story. If that makes any sense, guys. I'm going to try to explain it a little better, so stay with me. Okay, so the words that I'm talking about as far as L-Y that you can almost always immediately cut is the word immediately. Okay, you do not need the word immediately or the word suddenly. Okay, let me explain this, my process, okay? So, most general rule here, rule of thumb, is immediately and suddenly, you can cut those words, like automatically cut them, because you don't really need them. And if you think about it in the context of if something is happening immediately in your story or suddenly, you don't have to point it out by using the words immediately or suddenly. Instead of saying immediately, the door slams, just say the door slams or a door slams, because now we are in your character's mind, we are in their body, and when you use the word immediately in front of the action, you're taking away its urgency. So remember to cut the word immediately. Same goes with suddenly. You don't want to say, I don't know, Pete was sitting on the couch. Suddenly he heard a noise. Instead, just say, Pete was sitting on the couch and heard a noise. Something to that effect, but not really, because that's a really bad example, actually. But I think you get what I'm saying. By immediately and suddenly, you can remove those, because most of the time, all it's going to do is stop it's going to suspend that belief that you are actually in the character or you are the character. So get rid of the words immediately and suddenly. Okay, on to the U. I hope I explained that, guys. On to the U. Now, the U is going to stand for your unnoticed words or unnecessary. Okay, and what I mean by this, let me go ahead and write this down for you. So any unnoticed, almost like invisible words, or what you might consider to be an invisible word. So unnoticed or unnecessary. Okay, Okay, so I'm going to give you an example of the words that you don't need. Now, sometimes on some instances, they will be necessary, but not always. So just double check when you find these words. And wow, I totally, totally spelled unnecessary wrong. Oh my goodness. Anyway, what I was talking about was the unnoticed words, and I need to have this room anyway. So unnoticed or unnecessary words. You're going to double check these words to see if you can pull them out of your story and see if the sentence still makes sense. So words like a, the, that, and just. Okay, so a lot of the times in your story, if you have a sentence with any of these words in it, a lot of the times you can simply remove them. The story will still make sense. The sentence will still make sense without these words. Now, sometimes there is a reason to have one of these words because sometimes when you take it out, maybe the sentence wouldn't make sense. But I'm telling you, about 85 to 90% of the time, just get rid of them. The story will still make sense. The sentence will still make sense. It really won't change anything other than immediacy. So instead of saying, I don't know, it was a candy that he liked. Really bad sentence here. But anyway, we'll just use that as an example. So if it was a candy that he liked, you can just say a candy he liked. I removed the word that, and it really didn't change anything as far as importance to that sentence. So just be aware of the unnoticed words that we don't really always pay attention to when we're editing. So a, the, that, and just. Just double check and see if these words are indeed unnoticed and unnecessary. Words to cut. Okay, so then also, I just remembered another one here, guys. So also directional cues such as up or down. These are also considered unnoticed words or unnecessary words, because if you have a character sitting up, standing up, instead of saying standing up, just say they stood. Instead of saying they sat down, just say they sat. So a lot of the times you can completely eliminate or cut these words, a, the, that, just, up, and down. Not always, but for the most part, about 85 to 95% of the time. Okay, on to the C. The C in our acronym stands for crutch words. Okay, so these are going to be words. We're going to put crutch words. Okay, crutch words are the words that you use all of the time. And it's kind of like a unconscious, well, I guess that word would work. It's kind of like you don't realize that you're doing it, that you have repetitive words, that you use the same echo words or echo phrases. You're just being repetitive with a word. You rely on that word too much. And a lot of the times, guys, that and just could be your crutch words. So you want to get rid of those words. But these are also any echoing words or redundant. So you will notice that you will find these words, and they're not always just and that, but those are the most common ones. So think about your crutch words, whatever they may be, and try to eliminate as many as you can. Okay, next on to the K. So the K is for knowing. And I will explain what I mean by this. Okay, and then also your kick words. Okay, kick words. All right, sorry if this is messy, but again, I'll go over it with you again. So what I mean by your knowing words are anything that is any knowing or / kick words. They are words that kind of kick you out of the perspective of your character. So anything that would make the distance, like, kind of draw you out or pull you out of the story. Those are like kick words because it's like kicking you out of that perspective. Knowing words. So these are words like realized, remembered, thought. Those are just a few that come to mind. So we'll go ahead and put those out here. So realized, thought, remembered. Okay, so those are just a few. Or noticed, that's another one, noticed. Okay, so these are all things that your character knows. So they have a memory of this. So realize, thought, remember, notice. These are kind of like your knowing words. And they are also considered filter words because you are filtering the experience through these types of words. And you want to create a closer connection with the character. You don't want to have so much distance being pulled out or kicked out, as it were, of the story or out of the viewpoint of your character. So these are words that you can automatically cut most of the time, 85 to 95% of the time. Let's see. Also, under the K, I'm going to use, as in knowing, these are your non-specifics. So your non-specific words, let's make a little arrow here. Okay. So what I mean by non-specific, these are phrases. So non-specific phrases or words, I guess would be a better way to put it. And these are your kind of and sort of. Okay, so anywhere you see kind of, sort of, like she sort of liked them, or kind of liked ice cream, whatever the case may be, most of the times you can just get rid of those words as well. So moving on to the letter Y in the acronym. So these are going to be words ending in Y. And there are, I don't mean every word that ends in Y, but the main ones that come to mind are these three. So the three that I'm talking about are really, very, and actually. Okay, so really, very, and actually, these three words, most of the time, 95% of the time, you can cut these words. A lot of the times we don't think about these words. We just kind of pass right over them. But most of the time, you can erase or delete the word really, very, and actually from your story. Also, today I'm going to give you guys a bonus edit tip, and this is the blank plus body part. You don't know how many times I have had to use this little edit trick to try to remember to always take those things out, because most of the times, guys, they're not necessary. And what I mean by the blank plus body part, so let's say your sentence was, hello, was she okay. I'm going to write a couple of them down here so we can hurry up. Sorry about seeing the back of me, guys, but bear with me. Almost done. Okay. And I think another one was, and again, most of the time, these are words you can automatically take out, and including these little phrases. So, okay. So, and I hope that you guys will understand what I'm saying here. All right. I think this will kind of give us a gist anyway. Yeah, let's do one or two more. I mean, I'm sure there are so many, and I do mean so many. There are so many phrases like this that once you see it, once you're able to pick it out, you won't ever not notice it again. So once you train your eyes to see these things, they will become so glaringly obvious that you will whip right through those line edits. Okay, so what was the other one that I had on here? Yes, okay. Um, there we go. Now, I'm sure there are a lot more, but these are the ones just off the top of my head. I had made a small list over here to the right that I keep looking at to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Okay. So, this is your bonus tip, guys. Look for those formulas, okay? The blank plus body part. These are things like, she nodded her head. Instead of saying, she nodded her head, I mean, guys, what else is she going to nod? So you can literally just take those out and you have, she nodded. It's short, it's quick, it's more punchy. He kicked with his leg. Well, what else body part do you kick with? I mean, just say, he kicked. He kicked. Very simple. They stomped their feet. Why not just say, they stomped? So you've already gotten rid of quite a few words each and every time. Same thing with, she blinked or winked her eyes. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I don't wink or blink with any other body part. Do you? So let's just get rid of that. You can simply say, she blinked or she winked. Okay. Also, he clapped his hands. Again, guys, what other body part are you clapping with? So you do not need this. So there again, you have shortened, tightened your manuscript up by getting rid of just those extra couple of words. Again, like he raised his voice. Just choose a stronger, in this case, this is still considered body part. So he raised his voice, even though it doesn't exactly follow the rest of these formulas, it is still one that you can consider. Because he raised his voice, just use a stronger verb. So instead of he raised his voice, you could say he yelled, or screamed, or shouted. Okay, so that's my tips for you guys. I hope that you got some value out of this little bonus edit kind of acronym. So if you just remember the word lucky. So the L again is those L.Y. words like immediately and suddenly. Those are words you can get rid of. Okay. The U are for those unnoticed or those unnecessary words that are just causing a lot more words to be in a sentence than necessary. So those are words like a, the, that, just, up, and down. Now, the up and down, these, I don't think they're ever necessary, but you be the judge of your own story. The a, the, that, and just, these words sometimes, very sparingly, guys, use these words because sometimes they will be needed. But for a lot of the time, you will overuse these types of words. So just go back through, double check, and really see if the words a, the, or that, or just are needed. Also, onto the C for the crutch words. These are any words that you use in your manuscript over and over again. Just words that you have come to rely on or that you are echoing or being redundant with throughout the paragraph or the sentence or the page. Get rid of those words. The K in the lucky anagram here is the knowing words. These are also the non-specific words or phrases such as kind of or sort of. These most of the time, cut them out. The knowing or kick words, also called filter words. Any language that you are using to filter the reader's experience, you're going to get rid of right away. So realized, thought, remembered, noticed, felt, heard, those kind of things. You're going to get rid of those. So the Y in the acronym lucky is going to be words ending in Y such as really, very, or actually. Most of the times, guys, you will not need these words. And again, with the bonus edits, basically anything that has a blank plus a body part, guys, you can automatically eliminate it. And that will make your manuscript tighter and read a lot cleaner. Won't be so clunky. But anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. I do hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And just ring that bell and it'll notify you the next time that I upload. So I wish you guys a lot of luck. And I do hope that you get lucky with your next round of edits. Bye, guys. See you in the next one.